I did a marriage series because we always talk about something positive that doesn't get highlighted for whatever reason. I did a 4-part marriage series a while back, and during my season 9 premiere of the B.T.S show, I decided to do a creme session, and which is available. I always tell people that if you get part 1 done, part 2, part 3, part 4 is for the most part a smooth breeze. A lot of people fail. Why do you think people fail marriage? The marriage part. A lot of people say marriage is not for everybody. We get that, but why do you think people fail it?
You know what? I think that it's funny because someone said this on a stream. The negative stuff that they were hearing about marriages and stuff like that, it makes them not want to be married. I think it's because 1, they hear that bullshit. 2, they haven't been around successfully married people, so they don't know what the positives are about it, and they believe in the negative. They want to listen to the negative because that's what YouTube is pushing, or that's the negative stuff is really not my reality. So I can't say, oh, everybody's this. This man DNA, this whole DNA testing. The first time I heard about this was on YouTube. Oh, the baby daddies. I'm really not privy to baby daddies and baby mamas because I have no friends that are baby mamas or baby daddies. So I'm kind of oblivious to all this talk and stuff like that. And I'm glad I am, because I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that negativity or stuff that can be in your mental and kind of mess you up and screw you up. Because let's say if you're hearing, oh, all black men cheat, all black men, all black men that, the next black man you meet, you're going to think that. You're going to go into that date thinking he's going to cheat, he's going to do this, he's that, he's this. And then you're probably going to screw up the date. So I don't want to hear none of that negative shit, honestly. Touchy.
No, and that's a fact. And I always tell people the reason why you have a negative outlook about marriage is because you don't know what good one looks like because you're never surrounded by one. That's number 1. And also number 2 is I tell people if you're not married, it's because of you. There's plenty of good men out there. There's plenty of good women out there. The common denominator in all of that is you.
Yeah.
And also, so this is what I did for part 1. There's 5 steps to my part 1 of the marriage series. And audience, feel free to pull up at any time because we might wrap up after this. Part 1 is know your strength. So, Q, what is your strength? What is the strength that you provide in a relationship? Or that you will provide in a marriage?
I thought of the word, but I don't know if it's the right word because it might come off slavish. Being a servant, right? It sounds kind of slavish. It sounds kind of slavish because a servant, but
it's not.
Serving my husband, catering to my husband, respecting my husband. That's what I think of a servant. Loving my husband, being his assistant, being his cheerleader, being his cook, his chef, his maid. And it sounds kind of bad in a way, but growing up in the island culture, that's how we were raised. A man shouldn't be cleaning the dishes. You should be serving your man the plate. And I know why I'm single. Because I put work first. I put a job first. I'm a loner. So I'm working I know that. So I know that's why I'm not married. I know my faults. But when you think of a husband in a marriage, I think more of a servant. You're serving your man. You're catering and nurturing your man. So because that's how my parents are. That's how my mom is. My dad is a provider, right? My mom was kind of the backbone of the family, the kids, the cooking, and this, and that. And that worked out well for our family, right? So I love that aspect, even though we're not in the islands and it's different here, very different here, how people operate and how the system is and schooling and the culture is definitely different, which I think is kind of a scary part because I really don't want to raise a family here, honestly. I don't want to raise kids here.
I heard that a lot.
I went to a private school. My schooling system was better than the shit they got going on here. The culture, like, I think that being in that culture, you're very aware of what's really the realness is, instead of this fake bullshit that's going on in today's US society. And also, being in that culture, you're glad for the stuff that you have. You're very humble. You're very selfless. You're not like selfish in some matters. And I think that people up here take a lot of stuff for granted. So that's why I really wouldn't want to raise a family here. I don't mind going overseas and raising a family somewhere else, because people can say, you know what, go back home, go back, da, da, da. But once you go overseas and you really immerse yourself in the culture and see the difference, like, I think people will have a different perspective.
And you brought it up with your strengths. You also brought up I think you kind of brought up your weaknesses. Is that you prioritize work, you're a loner, and that type of stuff. Speak a little bit more on that. Like,
So,
that's your weakness?
yeah, my weakness is that for years, I've definitely, like, my dad's side. My dad is very work oriented. Go to school, get your education, go into your career field. And living up here, I'm like, okay, I'm in the financial world. I know most houses, they need a 2-person income. So and I've worked with kids also. So I was like, you know what? Let me grind and get money, get a good job. So whenever I do get married, my kids can be well taken care of, right? Because I was well taken care of. And up here, the kids up here are different.
It's ass backwards. Yeah.
School system is fucked up in some cases, and parents definitely need to be in their kids' lives. So I'm like, I want to make sure I'm good in a job to where have enough money to where if I need to step back and homeschool my kids or make sure I'm in my kids' life, I have enough money. So I've definitely prioritized that. And regarding going out, I don't go out a lot in Houston. So that has definitely been my downfall. Yeah, I might play softball. Yeah, I might do this, but I'm a big family person. So I hang out with my family most of the time. Like, or I be at home. I'm such a TV buff, and I work at home. I order my groceries. My groceries get delivered here. My gym is literally 20 steps away. I don't need to leave home.